Welcome back everybody, Matt and I'm Brad here. Hope you're doing well. So today is the 10th anniversary of one of my favorite movies of 2013. Heck, it's one of my favorite movies in the past 10 years. Okay? Prisoners. Starring Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, Terrence Howard, Viola Davis, Maria Bello, and Paul Dano, and Melissa Leo. This movie is unbelievable. I love this movie so much. It is one of those movies, going into this movie, I was going to see it because of Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal being one of my favorite actors in Hollywood. Hugh Jackman because it's Hugh Jackman. I mean, Wolverine. And this movie came out right off he was coming off of his Oscar nomination for Les Miserables in 2012. So it was like, okay, a new Hugh Jackman movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. Let's go. And oh boy, this movie is brilliant from beginning to end. This movie has some of the best acting of some of the actors' careers. Hugh Jackman, I mean, this is easily one of his best performances he has ever given in a movie. Even Jake Gyllenhaal at this time was starting to change his career, almost like the Gyllenhaal effects. The year before he had that End of Watch, where he played a cop, and then he followed it up with this movie, and then Enemy, and then Nocturnal Animals, and so on and so forth. And he has really, in the past 10 years, really shown a different side of him in so many different roles as an actor. And this was one of those, almost like Matthew McConaughey with the Lincoln Lawyer, like, oh, I'm going to show you I'm a serious, serious actor, if you forgot. This movie, it's dark. Not only the tone, the atmosphere of this movie, even from the very opening scene, you just feel this, like, dark feeling creep over you. And you get that throughout this entire movie. This movie has so many twists and turns, which I love, because this movie at over 2.5 hours, it's long, but you never, ever feel like, oh my god, we made it for 2.5 hours. When is this movie going to end? This movie keeps you locked in from the moment the two little girls, as soon as those girls are missing, the movie just takes off until that final shot. And even in that final shot, they leave you hanging. They leave you hanging just a little. And I won't spoil it, but they still leave you like, and that is a great way to end the movie. When you're driving in your car, and you're maybe with somebody, and you're both are talking, did they? Did they not? Did they? Did they not? And I love that. I love that. And then this movie has so many twists and turns throughout the movie. It keeps you on the edge of your seat all the way through. I love that. I mean, you think it's one person, then you think it's another person. Then it's like, oh my fucking god, what the fuck is going on? It's just, I mean, it is intense. And what I love about this movie, and I love that Hugh Jackman takes on these roles, that you really question his character, is this movie deals with so many great themes. Very, very heavy themes, by the way. I love how this movie does play with the whole who's right and who's wrong in this situation. Who's really the bad guy in this? Is it the person that took... Is it this person? Or is it this person? Is it the antagonist that we're painting as the antagonist? Or is it really the protagonist? I mean, it really makes you question those things when you watch a movie like this. And I love how another theme in this movie that they really take off at the beginning is Hugh Jackman's character is a father who is preparing for basically doomsday. You know, he has a basement full of, survival, kits, food, everything. And you hear him at the beginning of the movie talking to his son on the way home after hunting. He's saying, if something just starts happening, people turn on each other, food can't get to the grocery store. You have to be prepared for the worst of the worst. You have to be prepared for when the shit goes down, you are ready. If man will turn on themselves in a heartbeat. And you need to be able to focus and not be one of those people and know how to survive. You gotta be ready for anything that happens. And he's saying this, and you see all this stuff in his basement, but he's one of those people that prepares for everything, but he never thought about what if his child gets taken, goes missing. How do you deal with that? How do you prepare with that? How do you prepare that in your mind? How do you deal with that? And this movie just kind of, in a way, deconstructs this character. You think this character has it all together, and you're like, no. You start to question, who's the real bad guy in this movie? And it also goes with the whole theme of how far do you go? How far do you take it? How far? How far is too far? And I love how these themes in this movie make you question that. Make you question, if I was in that scenario, what would I do? Would I be Hugh Jackman in this movie? Would I be more like Terrence Howard? No, let the police handle it. We don't need to do this. No. It makes you really wonder. And I'm sure every parent who watched this movie had that going through their mind. Well, what would you do? I don't have kids, but I'm gonna tell you, if the cops couldn't do it, the psycho Batman would. So, it makes you question those things. The music in this movie, the score, haunting. Like I said, the cinematography almost means this entire movie is either raining, cloudy the entire film, snowing, or just freezing fucking cold. This happens after Thanksgiving. So, around Thanksgiving and then after Thanksgiving. So, and I don't know where it was actually shot. I think up north somewhere. But you get that cold, eerie feeling throughout the entire movie that goes with the tone, the atmosphere. And I love it. And like I said, it is a movie that you don't believe that this stuff happens, but it does, which makes it all the more scarier that there are people out there that do this, and it's like, whoa. Like I said, Jake Gyllenhaal, like I said, to me is one of his best performances in a movie. I mean, he really nails it out of the park in this movie. Denis Villeneuve is the director. I didn't know anything about this director before this movie. He went on to do Enemy, Arrival with Amy Adams, Blade Runner 2049, Dune Part 1 and now Dune Part 2. And he has become one of my favorite directors because of this movie. And also like Arrival and stuff like that. And I still think this is his best film he's done. It doesn't matter how many times I watch this movie, I still love it. I still can't get enough of it. And after watching this movie yesterday to do this podcast, I was thinking to myself, Denis, when you're done with Dune, I know exactly the property you need to tackle next, and that is Hannibal Lecter. I want to see this director, in this type of vein of a movie, do a Hannibal Lecter movie. Like a Silence of the Lambs, Red Dragon. I think he would knock it out of the park. And that's what I got the vibe of watching it. Like, it feels almost like a Hannibal Lecter, a dark, gritty serial killer, cold, wet, almost even in the vein of like a Seven. Anyway, it's one of my favorite movies. It would have been my favorite movie of 2013 if it wasn't for another movie that came out later that year, in December of that year, The Wolf of Wall Street. Sorry, Scorsese won that year. Wolfie, Wolfie, Wolfie. But this is definitely my second favorite movie of 2013. It's still one of my favorite movies in the past 10 years. I watch this movie at least once or twice a year and never get enough of it. It has great acting, great cinematography, great story, atmosphere, tone, score, themes. Paul Dano. I mean, as soon as they announced Paul Dano to play the Riddler in the Batman, I was like, yeah, you've seen Prisoners. I mean, Paul Dano's a freaky motherfucker in this movie. Of course he would make a great Riddler. And then even in the Prisoners movie, he actually sings the song, Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, Robin laid an egg. And I was like, holy shit, it's the Riddler singing the Batman song, and then he becomes the Riddler in the Batman, going after the Batman. But that's another thing. Paul Dano is creepy in here too. He's so, ugh. It just makes you go, no. I don't want that guy to be my neighbor. But even his character, when everything is revealed in this movie, you actually feel sorry for his character. And that's brilliant. That's one thing, the script in this movie is brilliant. But this is such a great movie. Like I said, one of my favorites. Have you seen Prisoners? If not, it's on Netflix right now. So if you want to watch it, I would highly recommend watching it on Netflix. Or you can probably watch it on Amazon or whatever. But go watch this movie. You'll love it. You'll thank me later. You might be freaked out of your mind. But it's not a scary movie. It's scary in a realistic way where this does happen, and it could happen to your child. That's how I'm going to end this on. Way to go, Matt.